Hello everyone, welcome back to SCM Hive, and today we will discuss one topic which is a part of demand forecasting itself. So, I want you to imagine something for a moment. Suppose you run a shop, you order stock every single week, order too little, you run out, customers leave, sales lost. And if it's ordered too much, your warehouse is full, money stuck in inventory, and it's waste. So the $1,000,000 question is, how do you get that number right and correct? So we can't guess, we can't go with a gut feeling, and the right number backed by your own data itself. That is exactly what today's technique solves. So I'm talking about the exponential smoothing method. Okay, unlike simple average that treat all weeks equally, ESM is little smarter. It says what happened last week matters more than what happened 6 weeks ago. And it uses a number called, as I mentioned in the last video, we called it alpha, which is denoting as A. So, we called it alpha, which means to control exactly how much more it matters. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to use this technique. And more importantly, you will know how to pick the best alpha for your data. So, let's start. So, here is our company data, okay, which is reflecting as a weekly data, weekly sales data for 6 weeks. And our job is to forecast week 7 forecast, okay. 6 weeks of real data we have and week 7 is unknown. Now before we can apply ESM, we need one starting point, and the forecast for week 1 will be, how do we get it? Okay, the simple way is to get the forecast for 1 week is that we take the average of all actual values and we will get the forecast value of week 1. So let's go. As I mentioned, how do we get that forecast for week 1? We need to average, we need to find the average. So what we will do to find the average, we will add all this figure and we are getting 405. And for average, how many weeks we have, how many weeks data we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So divided by 6 and the answer is 67.5. Okay, 67.5. This is our week 1 forecast value. Okay, please focus on this value. Now 67.5 is our week 1st forecast and this is our starting point to get the other week's forecast value, and now we have everything. And we need to run exponential smoothing method on it. But before that, I want you to understand what is the alpha, as alpha is playing a major role in ESM method. Okay, so what is alpha and why does it matter so much? Question is why we are majorly focusing on the alpha. So before calculating anything, you must understand alpha first, because alpha is the heart of ESM. For this method, alpha is playing a major role. Get the alpha wrong, your entire forecast is wrong, and this whole topic is depend upon the forecast. If your alpha is wrong, how you will get the correct number of the forecast? So get it right. Your forecast become extremely powerful if your alpha is correct or wrong, whatsoever. If it's wrong, it will give you wrong result. If it's right, it is extremely powerful and helpful for the people. So alpha means it's in between 0 and 1. Okay, it is in between 0 and 1. Please focus, if the alpha is high, means if your alpha value is 0.9, which is the maximum, trust that this recent, it's majorly focused on it. Okay, it reacts very quickly to every change. Okay, it will jump, it will come down, it will go up very quickly. And if your alpha is low, which is 0.1, it means that it is less smooth. Okay, it is very stable and steady. Okay, think of it, think like this. There is a two drivers, driver A and driver B. Driver A is a high alpha, driver B is a low alpha. Okay, every time, okay, if I talk about driver A, every time the road curves slightly, for example, okay, understood. every time the road curves slightly, he turned the wheel very fast, means too much fast. And the car keeps going left and right. Passengers are uncomfortable and journey is rough. And if I'll talk about the low alpha, driver B, he sees the curve, okay, he makes a small gentle adjustment. Cars will stay steady on the road. It is very smooth journey and no overreaction. What is the difference? Driver is, if he is seeing the curve, slightly he is taking too much wheel turn, which is very uncomfortable for the passengers, and the car is also going left and right. But driver B is also seeing the curve, but he is taking turn very gently and adjusting the wheel very, very gently and very calm. So his car stays steady on the road and it is very comfortable for the passengers. There is no overreaction. Okay, same idea is in the forecasting. If there is a high alpha, turn the wheel too much. After every sail change, forecasts go all over the place. If there is a low alpha, make small gentle adjustment. Forecast will stay steady and accurate. One line you need to remember. Low alpha drives very smoothly, high alpha keeps losing control. Please remember that car example, okay? For stable data, steady always wins. So the key idea is alpha is not something you guess, okay? You test different values, for example 0.1, 2, 3, 0.5, 0.7, 0.9 and find which one gives the lowest error. That is the best way and that is your best alpha which gives you the lowest value, lowest error, okay? That is a key idea to remember what is alpha meaning. Now I will tell the formula to find the rest other figures, okay? We can't take average for all to find the forecast value for all week. There will be some formula, right? So that will make the ESM work and write it down the formula. How we can find the next forecast? So it will be next forecast. Okay. How we will find next forecast? You need to find the last, remember you need to find the last forecast value. Okay. Last forecast value plus alpha, okay, multiply by, I will write here, multiply by actual sales value minus last forecast value, minus last forecast value. Easy. Okay, means last forecast value we need to add an alpha and we need to multiply with the actual sales value minus by last forecast value. You need to remember this formula, okay, or you can written like this, ft plus 1 is equal to, you can written in a short form, ft plus alpha multiply by, remember it, multiply by xt which is the actual sales and ft is the forecast value. So this is a short formula you can remember. ft means forecast value, we need to add alpha and then we need to multiply with sales value and then minus the forecast value from the actual sales value. So this is a whole formula you need to keep remember in this video to solve the further points. Okay. Let's start with the alpha 0.1. We will use 0.1 alpha in today's video. Remember, low alpha means react slowly to new data. Week 1 forecast we already have, okay. Now we will calculate forecast for week 2 to find how close our prediction was to the actual sales. Why? To find how close our prediction, okay, how close our prediction was to the actual sales. So we can measure the error and find the best alpha. To find the week 2 forecast value, we will use this formula, okay. So FT, we need to find FT. FT is our forecast value. We always need to take the last. Suppose if you are solving the week 3, you need to take forecast value from week 2. If you are solving week 4, you need to take the forecast value from week 3. So always take the last forecast value. That's why we find the first week of forecast value to calculate the other week's forecast. Okay, so we will put the values in the formula. So what is the forecast value we have? We have 67.5 plus what alpha we are using today? 0.1 multiply by XT. XT means actual sales. Which actual sales we will take? First week. Okay, because we are taking forecast value. So we will take the actual forecast sales from week 1 and that is 60. And what we need to do next? Minus F means forecast value 67.5. So this is a whole formula. I put the value. Okay. What I did, as per the formula FT value, my last FT value is 67.5 plus 0.1 alpha multiplied by XT means actual sales minus forecast value 67.5 and my forecast is coming, I will write here 66.8. 66.8 is my value for week 2. Same way we will do forecast for others. Okay, here is the whole calculations I did. Okay, what as I mentioned here, same way I did. So if for week 3 forecast value, what I did, I put forecast value 66.8 here plus 0.1 and 55 minus 66.8, we are getting forecast value of 65.6. For week 3, same way I did for whole, and for week 7 what? Same way I did, 67.3 is my forecast value plus alpha and then multiply by the value what we are getting after minusing the actual sales in the forecast. So we are getting 68.1. Same method I followed here to get the forecast value of week 7. Now our next section is finding the error, and that is MAD. Now you will think, what is the meaning of MAD here? It's not that wala MAD, okay? It means mean absolute deviation. It is measured the average error of your forecast. I'm repeating again, it means mean absolute deviation. It measures the average error of your forecast. Lowest MAD, your forecast was closest to the actual sales. Okay? Simple example, if my MAD value is 5.5, on average your forecast was off by 5.5 units each week, right? If my MAD is 7, on average your forecast was off by 7 units each week, right? So which is the better? 5.5 is better because you were only wrong by 5.5 units on average instead of 7. Smaller the error is equal to closer the reality is equal to better forecast. Simple. I hope you are clear on this term, MAD. One line to remember, MAD tells you how wrong your forecast was on average. Lower the MAD, smaller the mistake, better the forecast. We have the forecast, but it is good or bad. How we will decide, right? We have the values. So to answer that, we need to measure the error. How far off was our forecast from the actual sales each week? We do this in 3 steps, and I will tell you why we do each step and how. Okay, so the first step is we need to find the error. I will write down here. First we need to, in first step we need to find out the error. In second step we need to find out the absolute value. Okay, and in the third step we need to find out the MAD value. I will write here. This is step 3, this is step 1, and this is step 2. Okay, so step 1 is error. How we will find? We will do minus actual value. We will minus actual value from the forecast value. What is the formula of this? Actual value minus forecast value. Why we are doing this? To see how wrong our forecast was each week. Okay. Step 2 is absolute value. So absolute value means if we are getting any figure here in negative, okay, if we are getting any figure here in negative, we need to remove that negative sign. That's why we are doing this step 2, which is absolute value. Why we are doing this? Because sometimes our forecast is too high and sometimes it's too low. That give us positive and negative numbers. If we add them together, they cancel each other out and we get a wrong picture. So we remove the minus sign from all values, making everything in a positive. Now we can see the true size of every error without positive and negative cancelling each other. In Excel, you can easily use the ABS formula, okay, to get the absolute value. And the third step is MAD, okay. So for this, what we will do, MAD is MED. So what we will do, average of all step 2 values. But why we are doing this? To get one number that summarize total forecast accuracy. Okay, remember, if lower MED, lower MAD is equal to better forecast. Now let me calculate all 3 steps with the using of Alpha01 and write along with me. So guys, I did the calculation and as I mentioned, I find out the error and the step 2 also. This is step 2, yeah, okay. So error, how I find, as I mentioned, I minus actual sales minus forecast value was a formula. So after putting that formula, I am getting these value. Hope you guys are also getting the same values. And step 3, I just remove the minus value to get the positive figure. And to get the MAD value, I added and I am getting 57.0 divided by 6 and my MAD value for alpha 0.1 is 9.5. Now, the question is this good or bad? Who can tell me? So, to answer that, we need to compare it to another alpha, right? We need to find that is we are getting the good value or it is a bad value. So, to get that thing, to get that comparison, let's try with the alpha 0.9 and the opposite extreme. High alpha reacts fast to every change. Okay, I calculated the value with using 0.9 alpha. Okay. Initially, how you calculated the values with using the 0.1 alpha, you need to follow the same method to calculate the value with using the alpha of 0.9. You just need to change the value here in the formula alpha. From like in the place of 0.1, you need to mention the 0.9. Okay, and then you will get the same figures. And after doing the calculations, I am getting the value is alpha value 0.9, I am getting 11.26. So here is the result. When using alpha 0.9, my value was 11.26 and when I was using 0.1, my value was 9.5. Okay. So this is the whole result of using 0.1 and 0.9. So now we have 2 results. Let me put them side by side and we will look carefully. Okay. So our alpha was 0.1. And our weak forecast value was, if you will remember, it was 68.1. Okay. And the forecast value in 0.9, it was for week 7, 75.31. Okay. 75.31 was the forecast value in week 7. For 0.9, it was 75.31. For 0.1, it was 68.1. Now, for 0.1, our forecast value was 68.1 and our alpha and our MAD value was 9.5 with using 0.1 alpha, which is showing the lower. Okay. So, and means it is better. And in 0.9, our week 7 forecast value was 75.31 and the MAD value was 11.26. with using 0.9 alpha, which is a higher value. Okay, means it is not good, it is worse. So MAD 0.1 is equal to 9.5, which is a smaller error. It is a more accurate. Forecast was very close towards the actual sales. And MAD 0.9 is equal to 11.26, bigger error, and it is less accurate, which is very far towards which is very far from the actual sales. So alpha 0.1 has a lower MAD value, 10.5 versus 11.26. That means alpha 0.1 made smaller errors overall. Alpha 0.9 was jumping too much, reacting to every single spike. Okay. For this data, which is relatively stable, slow and steady, to always win. So alpha 0.1 is our first choice. Now let me draw the graph where you can see the difference exactly and visually, and which will help you to understand more accurately. Okay, I will draw the graph, okay, for better understanding. This is our actual sales column, actual sales axis, and this is a week. Okay, so I will draw with blue and red markers so you can easily understand. So A is 0.1, blue line is 0.1 and red line is 0.9. So please just look at the graph. As I will go like this and this and this. So this is our alpha 9 graph. This is our this and this. If I will put values here, if you remember, in week 1 our value was around 67.5, right? 67.50 for week 1 when we were calculating the alpha 9, and this is 60.75, 50.75, sorry, 57, and this value is 73.05, and then again 61.31, and then again 78.13, and then 75.31. This is our alpha 9, and the blue line, it is 67.5, which was equal, and then 66.8, and then 65.6, and then 66.5, we'll note down here, and then 65.9, and the next 67.3, and then the next value is 68.1. So if you will see the graph figures, it is very clear to understand that alpha 0.1, this is very stable and steady, and the alpha 0.9, it is fluctuating ups and down. Okay, so the blue line is 0.1 and the red line is 0.9 alpha. The blue line, which is 0.1, stays smooth and stable. It does not overreact to every change, which is why it gives us a lower error, and the value is 9.5. Okay, and the red line, which is presenting 0.9 alpha, it jumps ups and downs dramatically. You can see here. So it chases every sales change too aggressively, which is why its error is higher, and the MAD value is for alpha 0.9 is 11.26. So the difference is very clear, right? I want you to understand why low MAD matters a lot. Okay, so why does it matters? It is just not a number in a table. It has a real business. Okay, if the MAD value is high, okay, if suppose there is a lot of forecasting errors, it will maybe, or you can order too much, you can order too little, okay, you can waste stock, or there is stock out situation, a lot of point will come. But if the MAD value is low, it will fluctuate the forecasting, the errors will be very small. Okay, we will order the right amount, right quantity, there will be no waste, no stock out, and productivity will go up. So you always go with the procedure that give you the smallest and the lowest MAD value, as here it is mentioned, and lower the MAD, higher the degree of accuracy, smaller the gap, productivity goes up and the profit goes up. Okay, there are 6 points we discussed today. The first we started with the ESM, exponential smoothing method, which means more weightage we are giving to the recent data, than the old data. And we discuss the formula, how we are following or how we are getting the next forecast. Okay, we use the alpha, which is in between the 0 and 1, control how fast you react to the new data. To find the error with 3 steps. Step 1, error, to find error, and then absolute value and the MAD value. Okay, and then always pick the alpha with the lowest MAD value. Okay, as we discussed, 0.1 and 0.9. We got the lowest MAD value is 0.1 and the answer was 9.5. And lower MAD value, it will give you high accuracy with the more profit. So we started with one question, how do you get your order quantity right? And now you have the answer here. Exponential smoothing method, it tests your alphas, it will give the lowest MAD value, use that forecast. For our data, alpha 0.1 gave us week 7 forecast of 68.1 and the MAD of 9.5, better than alpha 0.9 which gave the MAD value of 11.26. That difference might sound small, but in real business, it means the difference between wasted stock and the right stock, between lost sales and happy customer. That is the power of ESM. If this video helped you understand ESM concept, hit that like right now, drop a comment which alpha surprised you the most and why. And if you are new to SCM Hive, subscribe the channel, free supply chain education every week. And don't forget to download the free PPT, free presentation on this topic from the website. See you in the next video.